Just filling in for Helen Peacock, who went kayaking along with Paul Douglas family. So I'll try to fill in. I'm talking about International Peace Day. It's a dance celebration, entertainment. It's going to take place at the Legion in Collingwood on September 21st. It's dedicated to International Peace Day. It was a resolution that was unanimously voted by the United Nations. Dedicated a global day to the concept of bringing people together to create a culture of peace and to promoting peace, despite their differences. I'll talk a little bit about why that was important in a minute. But Helen was on this, I guess, a journey for the last couple of years. She joined an organization called World Beyond War, and she has created, with her family, a group in the South Georgian Bay District called Pivot to Peace. And it's a wonderful name. Helen's reached out to members of Probus and neighbors and invited people in their homes to talk about this. And I'm sure many people in this audience have been there. I went to one of them, and that's how I became involved. And I started thinking about peace, which I hadn't done for many years. And I'll take a little walk down memory lane. You remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, Vietnam War, the Iraq War, two Israeli-Arab wars. The list goes on. At the height of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union had 55,000 nuclear weapons. 55,000. Carl Sagan, a famous American astronomer, said if we had had an all-out nuclear war, the Northern Hemisphere would have been in a nuclear winter for years. And I recall a comment that Albert Einstein made, who died when he was 55, it was kind of prescient. He said, I don't know what weapons we'll use in the Third World War, but I know I can tell you what we'll use in the Fourth World War, use sticks and stones. So, 1981, the International Peace Day, that resolution was passed in the United Nations. It was the height of the Cold War. And we're fortunate for many reasons. The United States, the Soviet Union got together and they disarmed from 55,000 to 1,600, which is still far too many, but it was a start. So, given that, there still continues to be wars. There have been many wars, you can name them. They're smaller, local, regional wars, but it continues. So the question is, what is there to celebrate there? Well, for one thing, we haven't blown our civilization to the Stone Age yet. That's the thing to celebrate. We live in Canada, which is a very peaceful and fortunate place for us to live. And I say the third reason is something I read in the Globe yesterday, where one of the negotiators in the Afghan war, he said all wars lead to the peace table. And I thought about that, so okay. Well, why don't we just eliminate the war part, if we can? Pivot to peace. It's a wonderful concept. Now, we don't know what the answers are, we don't know what the tools are, but if we start thinking about alternatives to war, perhaps one day, it may take a generation or two, we'll find a way to avoid war. So, the Legion is a beautiful spot to have a Peace Day celebration. I invite you to come out September 21st. It's intended to be upbeat, maybe not much more than my talk right now, but entertainment. We've got Last Call. Bill Meldrum and David Heaslip will perform. Owen McBride of Mariposa Hall of Fame will be there. And Duncan Bristow will be DJing. And Helen will be speaking and telling us part of her story, the journey that she's been involved in. So I invite you all to come out, give peace a chance. It'll be a good day. The sign-up will be